So, without further ado, Albert, would you like to take us into, well, Cardinal, I guess?
All right. So the three of you have taken on a mission to escort some bards, some performers specifically, on a goodwill mission in the city of Macherost, or more accurately, the region. Your characters would know this because you live in this place. Macherost is one city in the larger area that is known as the Everwill. The Everwill encloses two different geographies. One part is the mountains that the Everwill shares with some parts of the city of Cardinal. Because for those who don't know, Cardinal has a north and south part, and through the middle is like this mountain range. And the Everwill shares a part of that mountain range with Cardinal, which is kind of on one side of the mountain range. And the other part of the Everwill is this very large forest. This forest is kind of unique in that all the trees are very old and very large, and the wood from these trees is almost iron-like. It's as if the trees were made of metal, but it's still wood, technically. So these trees are very difficult to cut down, as it were. So recently there were a bunch of natural disasters that caused many of the tunnels that take people to Macherost to collapse, and was very bad in the region in particular. So there are a lot of these small villages and towns in the Everwill that are largely cut off from each other because of these natural disasters. So that's kind of why this mission is here. So your characters are getting up in the morning in Cardinal and are preparing to go to basically like a tunnel station, where kind of the start of the tunnel system that leads people throughout the mountains. The mountains have like this large network of these pre-existing tunnels that have been here since before people arrived to the city.
Yeah, and there's one massively large tunnel that connects the north and south.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And if I remember correctly, we said that there was like a light rail or some sort of tram that goes along that tunnel. Or am I just imagining things?
No, you're correct. There's a rail system that runs through the tunnels, and it connects Cardinal to Macherost in general.
Mm-hmm. Which I will say is actually largely in disrepair right now. There has been an effort to repair it, but it's been very slow going.
So we can't use it?
There are you kind of have to take like a car instead of the rails. So it's slower.
An underground tunnel buggy.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh. I'm imagining it like one of those. You ever been to the airport and they have the luggage buggy?
Oh.
I'm imagining it like that, where it pulls a bunch of carts.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like they've repurposed temporarily all of the like utility buggies to get people around.
And each cart has like enough space for like 4 people to sit down, and they're kind of like a Ferris wheel like cart.
Groups of 5, you're fucked.
So yeah, you guys are getting up in the morning, like preparing to.
Yeah. How do you want to frame this? Do you want us to do something with it? Or?
I'll just kind of say we've done before, like introduce your characters, describe yourselves waking up, or if you want, you can describe yourselves like entering the station. Would be more interesting.
I guess I can go first.
Mm-hmm.
So actually,
let me add to that. So, due to the nature that travel to Macherost is quite slow right now, and you guys would have been told that you're going to be gone for a few weeks, what things would you bring on a trip
I like
that you know is going to take a few weeks of your time?
All right, then. I'm actually going to say that I'm doing some last-minute shopping on my way to the transport, so this is going to be like a little bit of a montage thing. So I leave the house with a pack already having my essentials, right?
Mm-hmm.
My character has a hiking backpack that's stylized, and looks like there's like armored plates almost on top of it. He has a very militaristic look to him. Half-orc looking guy with pale skin for a half-orc. and he's walking around the upscale out of like upscale neighborhood. There's a lot of like bistros and very open markets and stuff, and he goes to a boutique where it's sort of a wizard store to stock up on spell components. He has like a whole little like small like almost jewelry box thing with just drawers with all of his components, like his extra stocks, and he's sitting in there. He stocks up when he comes out of there. This guy's pretty tall looking, and he's not. I mean, he's short in the sort of short guy that loves lifting weights sort of look.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I had a teacher like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he's relatively short, so like
he's got the gym teacher stuff.
I know exactly. A very particular image comes to my mind.
So he's only like 5'4". Like he's averaging height, but compared to most creatures in this world, he's pretty small. But he is ripped, but like in an athletic, lithe way. And you see him going around. He has a buzz cut, and he has he has like peppered hair, but he doesn't look old. Like, you know, he has what's that thing called? The stripe that comes here. They have a word for it.
There's a word for
or
it?
something.
I did not know there was a word for it.
I just always called like graying salt and pepper.
but it's weird because it's like almost like a distinct stripe rather than whatever.
I know what you mean.
But he's young looking. So you see him walking, and he has with him just a group of folks that look like servants or whatever.
An entourage.
An entourage. And he kind of gives him an annoyed look, and he goes shopping for some more stuff. I think he has in his pack a mace, some other stuff, and I don't think there's anything else he would bring on this aside from like a regular military like 3-day pack.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And I guess he sort of, you see him, like, there's a comic scene where he's trying to shoo away his butler. He's like, no, just go away. You know, I'll need you
I
here.
imagine you only brought a 3-day pack, but the butler has way more.
Oh, yeah. I have 3 people, and I've decided against what I initially was going to do, so I'm just going to have the head butler with 2 other people. One of them is probably like a coach driver, and the other one's whatever. But they're... yeah, so I'm just sitting... that's it. My character is named... Woldmac Robert Molt, but he goes by Mace. And he makes his way to the underground tunnels. Oh, I just want to describe the scenery of this place. It's like, it's an underground district, right?
Okay.
So it's like a massive tunnel that's like 30 feet high and like 60 yards across, with like various off tunnels where people have like set up boutiques inside of those tunnels.
It's like an underground mall.
Yeah, it's like an underground mall. And like there's other larger tunnels that go off, and those turn into an entire shop, like an entire like boulevard.
Actually, you know what? This whole area is probably kind of like those big old train stations. So like if you've ever been to like London, it's kind of like King's Cross. Or there's similar like train stations in like New York. I'm sure like Central New York train station or whatever it's called.
New York Square.
Yeah, where it's like there's probably like 8 or there's probably like 8 or so terminals, because like these tunnels, like there's a lot of them that were here already when you guys first came to the city, and like the whole place is just like shops and restaurants, and like this is a big terminal where people kind of would move. Though for the size of this place, there's not a lot of people here because not all of these trains work right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's Woldmac. And he makes his way to the train station. I don't really want to roleplay fight talking to my butler, but I guess I could if you all want to see it.
I think we'll get enough of that.
Okay.
A familiar looking halfling, dons on her or pulls out from a secret compartment her travel bag and gets on her trademark robe and slides her trademark like bone mask under one of her the parts of her cloak, gets her little bandolier of darts, and it's like pretty well hidden, but it looks like it's pretty professionally like assembled. And she, writes this like letter almost, but almost very, very, almost like it's like a form, and she fills it out. And on her way out, she kind of like gives it to the kind of like doorman of her apartment complex. She's like, give it to the usual person, because she's expecting to not be back for a while. So it's kind of her way of putting things in order in case she doesn't come back or goes missing. And on her way to her, to the underground like train station-esque hub, she makes sure to pick up a couple extra provisions because she's not going to be back for a while. So she buys some extra like provisions for like food, and she's not really sure. She's never really been to Macherost before, so she brings so she hasn't really had a lot of experience taking these tunnels. So she takes oh, thanks.
It's just a little too far.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure. Thanks. And so she buys like some like extra torches and stuff too, just in case, because there's been these like cave-ins, and so she's a little concerned, like, what if I get, what if it happens? So she's got a couple extra, in addition to her usual backpack, she's got some extra food and torches in case of a cave-in. And then so you see the camera like pans off, and you see this very small halfling covered by her red and black robes, just kind of blending into the crowd as she makes her way down the even darker staircase and passageways down into the apparently pretty not abandoned but pretty not populated like shopping area of the underground. And she's just kind of got her pack on.
We start also in a very bright apartment that is very, very filled with plants. There's tons of plants everywhere. There's lush greenery and vibrant flowers. And this has been kind of mentioned before, so those of you who have been here before already kind of know where this is going. Tons of different vibrant plants, and there's mushrooms of red and blue and purple, and some weird ones that don't quite look normal. As a bird kind of flits by one of them and lands on a branch, we see a mushroom underneath it shudder and then snap up at the bird, and the bird takes off and is narrowly missed being eaten by this plant, by this mushroom specifically. And the bird perches onto, it lands on a blonde head who is currently wearing glasses and writing things down in her notebook as she is speaking to somebody else in her apartment, giving instructions on how to take care of things. She's detailing each and every single one of the plants that are in her apartment, as well as each and every single one of the animals. And she snaps the book shut and delivers it to the other individual, who looks a little lost, but presumably all the instructions are in this book and ready to go. And Valwynn says, "All right. Well, if you're confident that you'll be able to take care of my menagerie of life here, I put it in your capable hands."
Yes, ma'am.
And she elegantly gathers her bag, her very large bag, and she puts it onto her back in a practiced gentle motion, and goes dunk onto her because it's really heavy and it's filled with a whole bunch of provisions. It's a large bag for a rather small woman. She takes off her glasses and she is ready to go. So she trills a little bit of a whistle. I can't whistle. She can whistle. Thank you. And she kind of goes back and forth, and one of the birds comes back over to her, and she has a brief whistling conversation with it. And as they are having this, like towards the end of this conversation, if you would, she and the bird cast a glance at the guy who is holding the book and looking very concerned.
Are those teeth?
And they look back at each other and solemnly nod. It's like, and she takes the bird and puts it on a perch and heads out. So she has already prepared all of her provisions. All of them are ready to go in her bag. She's brought, mostly food. Mostly food. That being said, she's also a druid, and she is able to commune with the environment to produce more, in theory. So she's already pretty prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
And she makes her way through the city to the the tunnel system.
And at the train station, I think I have 3 people following me. One of them's obviously head butler. The whole shtick, wearing the whole suit with the tailcoats.
How many pieces is this suit?
I think it's just a 3-piece. There's a lady that has a cart that has a few like small crates that look like they're just provisions, whatever. And the one guy who's also wearing sort of a really janky looking like leather coat and looks more of a combat dude, squire dude. And I turn to the lady that's pushing the cart and I says, Matilda, you are going to be managing the house and the homestead, making sure that everything's good here. Roderick, if you insist to come, I guess you must come. And of course, boys, you are going to be helping me with provisions and helping me with whatever. But Roderick, you really don't have to come at all. But sire, I wish to come. The family malt requires that I always keep by to maintain your estate, since you so roughly shun the family. I know that's just that you in combat situations is never a good idea. But sir, no, if you insist, I must, but I'm telling you, I'm not responsible for your funeral. All right. And then, so I'm going to take 2 of my retainers. One of them's staying here to manage house. She's the interesting profession I found out recently called, there's something called a house manager. And they basically perform what butlers used to do, but more in a sense of they manage everything. You need, like, you hire someone to be your landlord, essentially. It's pretty cool.
So
and that's what she does.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, it's fine.
So, at the train station, this particular train, as I mentioned before, isn't currently running. It's still under repair. And it's kind of a situation where they set a date, and then the date got pushed back, and then it got pushed back. And whenever, like, the date is about 1.5 months away, kind of just slips further and further back. So...
What, for transport?
Yeah. Like, the rails are still broken. So instead, eventually, you hear, like, this whirring combined with, like, the puttering of... Well, it sounds like a diesel engine, but is magical, obviously. And, like, this half-track looking thing comes through.
Ooh.
There's, like, a few people on it, and they kind of get off on the other side, and the other side kind of opens up and lets you onto it. So, like... this thing is clearly, like, it looks old and has clearly just been in service for longer than it's been intended to. Ooh. Thank you, Heart Board Games, for the raid.
Hey, friends.
But as I was saying, like,
Hello.
yeah, you guys get onto this kind of old thing, and there's, like, a driver who switches off with someone else.
Yeah.
And you guys end it. How would this turn around?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think there's just 2 engines on either side.
Yeah, I think they'd have to be.
The one guy gets off, the other guy gets on at different ends.
Yeah. It's like a light
Real fast before we
Yeah,
delve into the
sorry.
next part. Hello. Well, thank you so much for the raid, Hard Board Games. We really appreciate it. How are you
Hello.
guys doing today? I hope y'all are doing well.
Oh, people found the special button. They found the special button. Oh, no.
You are special. Wonderfully, wonderfully so.
And thank you for the follow, Ronald Hearts Board Games. We really appreciate it.
That's cool.
Hello, everyone. You caught us in the beginning of our D&D session. We are starting a new arc today, so we're at the very beginning. If you want to hang out and listen, we would really appreciate that. Heart Board Games, what were you playing today? I saw that you were live earlier playing some board games. You were very special.
You were always special, Elite. Thank you.
You were always special.
Let's. I think it's Let's.
Let's is a good solid.
Yeah.
It's a solid
Don't
guess.
like elite speak.
Digital
No,
board games, rad.
Cool.
Hello, Time Roller. How you doing, friend?
How's it going? Yeah, if I could do the quick D&D spiel. We're doing like a weird West Marches thing where we all have numerous PCs and we all rotate out GMs. So, as John was saying, this is the beginning of this arc. Very first session. We just introduced our team for this go around, and it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. Board Game Arena games such that was right? That's Board Game Arena BGA, I think. Such as Seven Wonders, Solo, etc. Nice.
Cool.
How exciting. Sounds like it was a good time. So sorry. It's welcome back.
Ooh,
Heck yeah.
Heineken.
Non-alcoholic.
Did they
Interesting.
make that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
if I was a much more moneyed man, I'd enjoy regularly buying Heineken, but I am not a moneyed man.
But yeah, you kind of starts the beginning of this. My train of thought has disappeared. There we go.
But yeah, we're doing D&D, so our interaction with chat is a little limited, but we'll kind of interact between scenes.
Yeah,
So,
and we are paying attention though.
Yeah. So how big is this rail thing? For some reason, the way you described it, you made it sound a little bit bigger than I thought it was.
well, like the tunnel is large. Like this thing you're on is clearly smaller than like what is usually intended to go through this. Though, like these are pre-existing tunnels.
Yeah.
So they're probably bigger than even like the train tracks would suggest.
Uh-huh.
And like there's obviously like multiple directions of tracks, but you guys are kind of riding in between them on this like separate vehicle.
So we're in a train station and a bus pulls up.
Yeah, basically.
A long bus.
Yeah, I mean like I'd say about 20 people are in here with you.
Oh wow! I feel like we're going to Disneyland.
I just want to know: is it big enough to have 2 floors? Because
no.
Oh, damn it!
No double-decker bus.
Yeah, I wanted to see if this was a double-decker tank bus.
Ooh, I call second floor.
I mean, it's basically like it's basically 2 benches facing each other.
Okay.
So it's like 10 people on.
Oh, so it's smaller than I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, cool.
And you guys kind of get in. All your like bags just kind of end up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it kind of just starts to putter along. And from what you guys hear from like the signs and the posters and like people talking in the train station, the journey alone is going to take like 24 hours.
Ooh.
Whereas like previously what would have been 8 has turned into a day because of like kind of the state of things. And you can kind of see like as you go further along, things start to get into more and more disrepair. You're right, Alan?
I'm fine. I didn't want to draw attention to it. Keep going.
Okay.
Ooh, you come into the realization that you're going to be sitting in the same seat for 24 hours.
No, it's not that.
Oh, well, Frog is like, I should have bought a cushion.
There we go. It's finally passed. I had an ingrown toenail. I mentioned this before, and I just rammed it right into the corner of the table.
Ooh. Wait, 24 hours stream.
No, we're not doing this in real time.
I work tomorrow.
I
say.
And yeah, you guys are here for a while. At first, it's kind of like a long plane ride. At first, people are a little chatty, but as it gets longer and longer, people start to fall asleep. And people just don't want to be near other people.
Yeah. I don't know if we need to roleplay this, but my
play as much as you want.
My butler's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm just getting. You can just tell Woldmock is just getting so fast, so done with his butler Roderick.
Oh no!
Yeah, and his butler's constantly trying to like helicopter and like give him, Master, would you like the neck pillow? No, Roderick, I do not desire the neck pillow.
I kind of want a neck pillow.
And like the person next to you,
Roderick, give the lady the neck pillow. Yes, Master.
They're having none of it. They're like, I just wish these people would shut up.
Yeah.
And it's like this the whole thing is lit. Like there's like some of it's like kind of provisional temporary lighting, but you can see each other.
Yeah.
Depending on like how much you guys interact, at some point you guys get to you're actually stopped. There's a few people. There's like a uniform for like operating these. There's a few people in uniform in the tunnel that kind of stop you, and they kind of go up to the driver and they start having a conversation.
Is like a scheduled stop, and then is there a few people getting off and on?
No, this is not scheduled.
Okay.
Are we in like hearing distance?
It appears that we are being stopped.
Yeah, you can hear. So they're having a conversation.
Albert, we're also having a conversation.
Oh, sorry.
Roderick, do you happen to have the tickets? I fear that we are being searched. Did we get tickets?
Yeah, you have tickets.
Yeah. Yes, Master. This is concerning. Do any of you two happen to know the affairs of Macherost in these times. The train being delayed and under disrepair is concerning to be sure, but I did not hear anything untoward.
How much do I know? What do I roll?
You can make a knowledge check if you want.
Ooh, actually, I'm good at this too.
Fuck.
But I'll let Dawn go first.
Frog kind of wakes up. Huh? What?
What check?
Being
There's
searched?
no knowledge check.
What?
You mean like
You-
inside
Do
or?
you want a history?
History.
You want?
Sorry.
I was like, what are you talking about? What's a knowledge check?
This isn't Genesis.
What? Look, knowledge was even a thing before just history.
17.
General intelligence.
Okay.
Mine's less than her, so she'll
Yeah.
probably know.
The driver and the person who stopped you, they're having a brief conversation, and some of the words that you hear kind of bring to mind like certain things that you know about these tunnels in particular. There are these automata that are in these tunnels that were here when the tunnels were discovered. They are, I actually named them if that's all right. They are called the dynamic automata. They are these humanoid looking automata, but instead of like 2 legs, they have like 4 coming off of like this orb.
Ooh.
And these were here before, like you discovered them when you discovered the tunnels, and they act independently, and you don't seem to take commands, and for the most part,
Wasn't there also different shapes? I feel like there was different types.
I think there are different types.
Yeah, I
They
think
come in
so.
various sizes, but most of them are that kind of humanoid shape.
Yeah.
And for the most part, people leave them alone because they still don't really know what they do. They just let them do their thing. And it seems like there's a bunch of these in the tunnel up ahead, and because they're kind of in the area, the company is kind of saying, don't come through here right now. And basically the driver is directed to a detour. So there's like side tunnels that kind of go around where these automata are doing their thing. If you want to like see if like you can peer off the side and see if you can see any of them, you can try a perception check. It's kind of dark.
Oh yeah. Let's try and look.
Well, conveniently, I have dark vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do too.
I think halflings do.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
Maybe
No,
not.
I know
No,
gnomes do.
halflings don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gnomes. I'm
I
probably
totally
thinking
forgot.
of. Huh?
Unhealthy Hill did redeem a Alan Gets advantage on his next roll.
I think it was disadvantage.
Oh, was it disadvantage?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
was. Actually, I did want to roll a knowledge roll. Let me do roll again.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna assume I can't see shit because it
So
is
that's
dark.
an 11, then disadvantage. It was almost a 3. So that still comes out to 17. It's the same as Dawn.
Yeah, so you would know this information too.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say I don't because it role played me asking the question. I think I'll cash mine in for knowledge about the political climate structure of Macherost rather than the tunnel structure.
So politically, right now, it's kind of a shit show.
Yeah,
because
Macherost is always kind of a shit show when it comes to politics.
Yeah,
because the families in charge are pretty scary.
Yeah, there's a few families in charge, and we'll kind of get to those as you guys go.
Yeah.
Get further into session, but due to the fact that a lot of communities are kind of cut off from each other, there's just all kinds of different like insurgencies and conflicts, and it's just kind of devolved into this mix of different factions with different interests that kind of overlap and in some ways kind of don't, kind of colliding with each other, and just the whole thing's just kind of this grindy mess.
It just sounds like the political equivalent of a shouting match.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. But let's continue the conversation, okay?
So
Unless Brandon asked for a check, right?
Oh, I mean, I can try and see.
Well, you also, I don't think you heard the conversation.
Hmm?
Did you hear the conversation?
Because you just woke up.
Oh yeah, it's just like, oh, what's going on?
It appears we are being stopped.
For what?
I
Why?
don't know.
It would seem that there's some of the nomic automata up ahead. I'm gonna see if I can see it. Do I get advantage or anything because I have dark
Nomic?
vision?
sure.
I feel like this is a shorthand for Nomec. I think they would call them like Nomec. Is that something
Yeah.
cool about establishing?
Usually people just call them nomics.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what my status was. Hold on.
I guess gnomic is the correct pronunciation. Sorry.
Many. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's an unnatural 20.
Okay.
I can't do math right now.
Yeah, I think you see two of them, and they're carrying like this large stone. So like it's like they're clearly like very strong because they are like they're machines.
It's like a marble slab as big as this table you're talking about, or
bigger.
Oh shit!
Like they're machines, so they can lift pretty heavy stuff, but it's big enough that they need two of them because they're humanoid shapes. And you see them just kind of carrying it down the tunnel, like further away.
There, see?
Do I see it? It's dark.
Sure.
Okay.
Once it's pointed out, it's lit but dimly, so I think you can see.
Oh, that's what that is.
Oh, it's my first time seeing these things. I think we're
Yeah,
all looking out
same.
the same window.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna glance to the folks that are still talking up front. They still looking? They look like they're doing their rounds down the hallway.
They're probably still having a conversation.
Yeah, they're still having their conversation.
Either way, I wondered. Hey, did none of you happen to be bringing anything illegal? Would you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just to be sure, Macherost has some very strange rules regarding certain trafficking.
Like what?
It's hard to say, but thankfully, I don't think any of us brought any, unless Boy's my man here, and he kind of points to the more military-looking dude, squire dude, and my squire retainer, and he was like, unless Malco here brought anything. The guy doesn't say anything, just shakes his head.
Honestly, they mostly care about when things leave.
Yeah,
that's when they really check.
Either way, it seems we were going on a detour. I wonder how much longer that will add to our journey.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I didn't want to think about it.
You see Frog kind of pat herself down, doing a double check. I didn't bring anything, right? No big knives.
I mean, I got a mace on my backpack, so I don't.
Oh yeah.
They don't really
But,
care
like,
about weapons.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like I don't. Yeah, no bombs, no nothing. We're good.
Well, I, for one, will be appreciative of the extra time to write my latest dissertation. If you'd like, I'd be willing to give you a lecture on it.
How can you read in
Ooh,
light?
actually, this sounds.
Dark vision, darling.
I have
Oh.
read some of your more recent papers. Actually, do you happen to have the printing of the most recent one? I've been meaning to get around to the publications.
Do I have the most recent printing? Of course I do, huh?
Ah, yes. Actually, this would be some good light reading. As much as I tend to stay out of academics, keeping up on the most recent happenings of the creatures that are coming around these parts is something that I make an effort to know.
Yes.
Yeah, and I asked for a copy of the one you wrote up about the sandworms.
Yes, light reading, of course. Here's the sandworm documentation. And she hands like a 15-page paper to him.
Yeah, he's genuinely excited to read it.
All right. As you guys hand it off, the whole thing begins to move again. You kind of turn, and there are these like side tunnels, and elevation kind of changes a bit more, and like you kind of snake your way through. All in all, it adds about 2 hours.
Ugh.
But eventually, you get to the other side. If the other train station was big and empty, this one is eerily abandoned.
But is it still grand?
So
Yeah,
wait,
it's still-
we're entering into Macherost now?
Yes. Unless you guys want to do anything else.
Is there anything we need to do on the ride here?
No, just continue to write.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
enjoying a tasty nap.
Can you describe us entering Macherost now?
Sure. So you guys begin to pull up to the platform, and it's kind of like it's this very large, grand, like train station. The architecture is very different. It's more gothic and harsh shapes and angles, and like it's almost like the inside of like a cathedral, but it's almost nobody is here other than you. Like there's a few people waiting, but like it's almost empty. And you guys kind of get off. Like all the shops are basically closed. There's a few restaurants open, but there's no like commerce happening here. And to some extent, because of the economic situation in Macherost, it's also because you guys are arriving real late. It is pretty late in the night. It's after sunset, and those of you who are familiar with Macherost and have been here before, know that the area doesn't really do things after sunset. It's kind of one of those places where once the sun is down, no one does anything.
I imagine it's also because since it's almost perpetual like forest cover, even on a full moon, it's dark as shit.
Yeah. But you guys arrive in the city, and everyone kind of gets off, and you leave the train station, and one of the few people there waiting for you is a human woman who looks very tired. And she goes up to you as you leave, as you get onto the platform.
That lady looks really tired.
Do we recognize her?
No, but she goes up to you and meets and just kind of introduces herself. Well, hello. I believe the three of you are the people the SRC branch headquarters actually sent over. I am Trill Millen. I am the SRC representative here. It's very nice to meet you. And she just like grabs your hand and shakes it. She is trying to be polite, but is too tired.
You okay?
It's been very busy.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. We were rerouted on the way here.
Oh no!
Seems there was some Nomex that were moving, coming off with some sort of slab.
Oh no, I understand. Delays are quite common. It's just, if you're not aware, branch here is very new, so there's a lot of politicking that has to be done, and I am so very tired of it. But we should get going. The clients are waiting. I'm very eager to meet you, so we should be going.
Yes. Well, come on this way, boys. Then big silent guy picks up a crate.
Frog hands back the neck pillow. Here you go. Thanks for the use.
The Roderick. Oh, this. I gotta. He just kind of sniffs it and he just kind of looks at her like, oh, yes, I guess I could. No, I'll launder this later.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, you guys leave the train station. So the architecture here is like a mix of these clay houses with like these wooden support beams. Some of it is real wood, some of it is like that hard ironwood that is native in the Everwill. And in kind of the back of the city are these multiple of these large stone cathedrals and castles. And they kind of dominate like one part of the skyline, whereas the other, like on one half is like these tall giant castles and cathedrals. On the other side is like kind of normal looking village kind of thing.
And those castles are like almost starting up the slope of the mountain?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're towards the mountain, and they kind of work up the slope of the mountain.
Okay. And it's nighttime, and we're going through the streets. Just dead silent.
It's silent. There's not a lot of people out. Most of the people are inside. Like, people aren't asleep. You can see lights, but people don't go out at night.
Yeah. Well, I'd appreciate a good sleep right now before we had to do anything, unless of course the clients. But we don't want to keep the clients waiting.
Yes, we should really go meet the clients. I believe they're planning to leave in the morning anyway, so you'll have a chance to sleep.
Well, I can send my butler to our sleeping arrangements. I'm sure Roger can also take your bags that you don't need for this meeting. To where are we going? Roger, you know the way, don't you? I've been to Macherost once or twice, but not in many years.
Okay. I mean, they're at a tavern now. Like, they have rooms there. But if you want to stay somewhere else, I guess that's no reason not to.
Do we have sleeping arrangements?
We probably would have sleeping arrangements, I'm just gonna
send them ahead.
Okay, sure.
To whatever arrangements we already made.
Yeah. Honestly, like, if that, I guess your characters could have like decided that before you went.
Yeah.
Yes, of course we would have.
Okay, sure.
We would have received an
itinerary.
itinerary.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah, the SRC kind of tells us where we want to sleep.
Not only that, but my Matilda, my house manager, is ordinarily on top of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yes, Lady Hathrow is very, very thorough, and take these, and you kind of just he's an older guy, but he just has a big backpack, and he kind of puts more stuff on him. He's like, "Oh Lord, Malco, can you please come with me?" Yeah.
Do you have?
My two retainers?
Sorry. Do you have any questions for Trill while you're walking?
It's quite dead in these streets. You normally, a city this size would have many people, revelry and the like. Is there some law that was passed recently to stop folks from walking about this late?
Nothing in law per se. I mean, the people generally don't go out at night, but I mean, city's kind of dangerous this late, which is largely why people don't go out, and it only seems to get worse as time goes on, so people just stay home to try to be safe, but there's nothing in the law that says people can't leave.
Well, I don't think we need to worry about getting shanked, the three of us here.
Yeah, I'm still like, well, what kind of crimes? Like getting shanked or like getting mugged?
Yeah, muggings, coercion, like petty street crime.
Politics. Street politics.
If I... yes, indeed, street politics are a thing, but I think Macherost has this reputation for being very cutthroat in all of its politicking, whether that be in the streets or up in the council halls, and I gesture towards the higher district.
Huh. Eat.
But tell us about these clients. The brief was very vague about these sort of things.
Oh yes. So I'm not sure how much you know about the customs here. But there's this college of bards called the College of Crows. They are these. I'm not from here either, so I don't entirely understand it. But they perform these concerts, rituals. I'm not really sure what they are. But they do these performances throughout the region. And, with the state of things, they sought some extra protection. And on the other hand, they also thought it might be a good opportunity for the SRC to gain more of a positive reputation in Macherost. And their interest kind of aligns with ours, so they just want to get you out there and want the people to meet you and to think that you... I'm not entirely sure what they want people to think of you, but they just want people to think better, I guess.
Do we have a bad reputation here?
I don't keep in track of what each officer does, but is the SRC in such dire straits in Macherost?
Well, we are very new, so we haven't done much. People are generally fearful of outsiders, and the past few assignments haven't gone particularly well. So, yes, the reputation is maybe not great,
but faltering, to be sure.
But it is redeemable, because we still don't have much of a reputation.
I see.
Most people don't know what we are.
Is this going to be fine for you, Miss Frog? I know that you tend to keep your head low in these situations. It's fine. I think me and the doctor here can take the front on this while you make sure to have our backs.
Yeah, if we have to make ourselves into some political figures and, shake some hands, I think that should still be in order. I think that's okay.
All right. This College of Crows, can I do a knowledge check on what they do?
What you guys can do a few things. You can make me a performance roll, or a history roll, or a arcana roll. All three are applicable here.
Yeah, I think I'll do. Well, Don, what are you planning on doing? Because I don't want to overlap here.
You said history, arcana, or performance?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards arcana, but I can do history.
How does performance fit into this?
They're performers.
So
yeah,
you might have heard of them.
You would have heard about it through
Social
concerts and
circles
stuff,
or
social
something.
circles.
Could it be a
Okay.
knowledge performance check? So if you're proficient in performance, you could do the knowledge and you still use your intelligence?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not proficient with it, but I was just asking if I could.
Niche rules question.
Yeah.
I mean, Arcana and History are both intelligence tied. So, and
Yeah.
I have proficiency in both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Apparently.
I could do history if you want to do Arcana, or it could be the other way around.
Frog's definitely gonna use it. Since she's from Mazcal, it's a city of traders, so she might have heard something about performers and the songs that they weave, I suppose. So
Oh, and you said out of character. Her name was Shrill.
Trill.
Trill.
Tril.
Okay. Tril.
Yeah, the
Let's-
Trill Millen.
let's go performance roll. That's a 17. I'll take it.
I rolled a 17 on the die plus 6. So
Jeez.
I rolled an unnatural 20.
Okay.
yeah.
So the
Yeah.
knowledge I'll kind of go down the list.
23.
The knowledge you get from the history roll.
I think Don, which one do you want to pick up? Arcana or history? Because I don't.
I guess it doesn't matter because you guys kind of did all three.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have proficiency in both. Do you also have proficiency
Yeah.
in both? I'll take History.
All right, I'll do Arcana then. So 23 Arcana.
So the knowledge you get from the history roll. The College of Crows is a relatively well, I guess they are a college of bards that has homegrown in Macherost. And it's kind of been growing since the founding of the city. They are well known as kind of like they are well liked. They are very popular within the area, though they don't really perform outside of the area very often, and they almost never do recordings. So
weirdly, their music is not really widespread,
No.
despite being as famous as they
like
are.
they are famous, but it's very hard to listen to them if you don't live here. Because part of their ethos is they don't do recordings. And that's largely because, according to their kind of writings and what they say about themselves, is that they perform music that is inspired by the tales that are told to them by the dead, the recently deceased. And it would be disrespectful to them to have that music recreated outside of the original context. So they don't do recordings.
Okay.
From the performance roll, you get kind of a lot of that same information about the fact that they don't record. But you kind of know more about the reputation they have among performers. They travel in small bands of typically 3 and at the largest 5 or 6. They are almost entirely acoustic instruments. Electric instruments do electric. Magical instruments do
Arcane instruments,
exist and are quite popular outside in other areas, but they are almost entirely acoustic. They do some magic trickery to do like basically reverb.
Yeah. Reverb
And-
loops.
yeah.
Things like that.
But so it's a lot of string instruments. Piano is also very popular in terms
Because
of
piano is also easily transportable.
pianos are kind of the thing that is in the tavern.
Yeah.
Right? So people have pianos. So they go to a place that has a piano and use their piano.
You know, we talked about this. It's kind of like the Wild West, where every single saloon has a form of piano,
Mhm.
and like each town, like their one saloon had a good piano.
Yeah.
That's almost always off tune.
Honky tonk is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to kind of give like a better idea, like equivalents in our world, older equivalents are things like old Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash before they like started using electric instruments. Newer examples kind of range from the older stuff from Mumford and Sons before they went electric, and like the Decemberists when they're doing acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
You're describing this like ghostly style, and I'm just think about this. Like it's these ghostly bards going, and I will wait for you.
Yeah. But like the big thing is that like it's a lot of it's in first person because it's
the spirit's perspective.
The spirit's perspective, and it's all very grim music for the most part.
Yeah,
But with some upbeat stuff.
It's like
Ghosts can be happy too.
I didn't tell you I loved you enough. I should have called my mom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
stuff like that.
It's the expression of these emotions that these people never got to express.
I didn't get laid enough. Oh my god, I'm so.
I've always wanted to hear someone make the performance of "I shouldn't have eaten that poison apple."
Yeah. And for the arcane check?
So the arcane check is these performances have a very real purpose. They are part performance, part real actual seance. So
they provide closure.
Okay, there's kind of multiple aspects of this. So on one hand, in exchange for performing these songs, the ghosts agree to protect the community where it's performed. It's kind of nebulous whether or not this is coerced or if it's like a mutual agreement between the ghosts and the bards, or like
I'm sure there's some academics back at the college that are just sort of like, we don't know which, but the people seem to believe this.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways you can interpret it.
Okay.
And on the other hand, it's a chance for the spirits and ghosts to communicate these emotions to the people that were close to them. But it's in kind of a vague terminology, so much like a seance, it can really apply to anyone in the crowd. So that's also kind of up to the crowd to interpret who these ghosts are talking to. So there's a lot of different ways this kind of goes, but for the most part, these rituals are a way that these communities protect themselves.
Okay.
Again, I appreciate this, but the idea of a seance playing Mumford and Sons. Can you imagine playing Mumford and Sons at a funeral?
Somewhere there's a very stressed lawyer trying to figure out the legality of all of this.
I mean, the biggest one I'm thinking of is it's always like that slow reverb. It's like I shot someone today.
I have a playlist.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pop it in chat if chat is interested in listening.
Put it into the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good.
Put it on both, actually. But the songs that are on there are always sad.
Yes.
So, like, I know what Albert's going for, and I don't listen to those bands normally, so
I say Mumford and Sons as it's the most well-known example in the playlist.
It's just the image is so funny to me.
There's better examples, but I don't think anyone in chat will know.
I'm just such a fucking hipster that you're not gonna know the music that I'm putting into chat right now. You probably never heard of it.
Oh, if there's a hipster ghost, that's going to be really good.
Oh man.
But yes.
It's just I've gotten my giggles out about Mumford and Sons at a funeral, I promise.
All right. So is that good for the info dump on that?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you guys are approaching where you're heading, you can start hearing this music come down the street.
As we're approaching, I say, and those are the folks who do the seance thing, where they ask for the ancestor to protect so on and so forth. I've heard these things. I've heard about them, but only from an academic standpoint.
I've kind of heard of them through hearsay from one bard to another, but never actually gotten to hear them.
Bard?
Nope. I just talked to a couple of them.
Yeah, I've known you for a while, Frog. So I've never heard you play an instrument. That's why I was surprised.
No, never hear me play an instrument. I'm not musically inclined. It's bad.
I actually took many music classes back in my days of the college in Silmesia. One of my professors, I remember him very, very well. Strangest little halfling you'd ever meet, though.
Oh, you mean Professor Insert Name. Oh, yes, I remember him. Yeah, weird fellow.
Yes, Professor Musubi was a little bit of a character, if you would.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard of him. He's one of those rare bards that doesn't go into the music industry to get puss.
Yes.
I just look at Frog bewildered, like
That's a lot. A lot of the people in a lot of the bards in Mazcall, they're just in it for the good stuff.
not for the content, just that it came out of your mouth.
Oh,
It's like-
look, I know that I'm a halfling, and I know that I seem kind of young and innocent,
No,
and I get it.
it's not that. I always every single. This is the first time I've had a chance to work with you like this, Frog. It's after a 24-hour tram ride. It's very strange.
I mean, I was asleep for most of it, but fair enough.
Yes.
But regardless, hope these guys. Do you happen to have names? Anything we should be worried about, Miss Trill?
Well, just they are probably gonna have you do a few things here and there, from what they told me.
Do I need to worry about any taking out M&Ms from certain colored candies out of
Oh,
out of
I
boxes
see.
for them?
Oh no, they're
Depending on
fairly.
what
They're,
classes.
you'll meet them. They seem pretty chill.
Alright.
I'm
I know bard types are very particular about certain
I'm sure
things.
they'd prefer to introduce themselves, and I honestly don't remember their names right now. So, just go on in. And she kind of points to the
All right.
tavern.
Oh, it's tavern. Okay, cool. Well,
I will get in touch with you guys when you get back.
by the way, are we all armored up? I just want to know what everyone's deal is right now. What was?
I don't know if you're traveling your armor.
Yeah,
no, we're in
exactly.
traveling clothes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Cool. I just wanted to double check.
I don't know. I mean, leather. Well, I guess leather armor is also kind of cumbersome.
I mean, but leather armor is a bit more natural than what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
With
Iron
scale mail.
steel armor.
yeah. I mean, because
Yeah.
I have Frog has like leather armor, so I don't. I mean, I guess I see the appeal to taking it off for a 26 hour like travel.
Frog doesn't seem like the kind of person who would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just wearing like normal clothes, but I have like a sleek black police baton looking thing for
Mhm.
personal protection. That's
Mhm.
about it. I don't have to double check because I feel like if anything goes south, which I don't think it's going to, I just wanted to double check. But yeah, we go into I'm gonna head towards the end.
I mean, I'm always armed with
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys go in as they're finishing their last song. The three musicians. There's a dwarf male, a half elf male, and a human female, and they all kind of bow. Everyone's kind of clapping, like kind of politely. It's a social place, so people are kind of doing their own thing.
Is it one of those sort of performances where they would snap if they knew what snapping
Ooh.
was?
No,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
clapping.
Okay, cool.
This is a clapping
Um,
establishment.
It has a sign that says anyone who snaps is going to be kicked out.
Yeah.
You snap, you get snapped.
And the dwarf sees you walk in, and he kind of puts his stuff away real fast and goes up to meet you.
Okay.
Hello there. It's nice to meet you. I'm Karak Stonelung.
Hello. How about why don't we go get a booth in the back there before we all do with these extremities? There's quite a lot of folks. Plus, your other bandmates need to come. Yes.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right. And as we start going over and sitting down, yes, I suppose introductions are in order. Why don't you start?
Frog, nice to meet you, and she kind of like shakes his hand.
Nice to meet you.
Dr. Valwynn Adelberg at your service.
He shakes your hand.
And I am Woodmac Robert Malt. You can just call me Mace. And then I forward my hand.
Mace. I like that. That's a good name. And these guys, he kind of points to your butler. It's just
Oh,
your butler, right?
No. Both of them went to go take all of our shit
Oh,
over
right,
to
you're
their
right,
establishment,
sorry.
so it's just me by myself.
I forgot.
Yeah. But Trill's here with us, I think, right? Or
No,
did
she
outside?
left.
Oh, okay, cool.
She
And
wants none of this.
as he finishes shaking your
She needs
hand,
sleep.
the two other bandmates kind of come up. And,
What was his name again?
Carrick Stonelung.
His name is Carrot.
Carrick.
Carrick?
Karek.
Okay.
And two others kind of come up. Oh, and I should introduce my other bandmates. This is Mara Asher, and
Your voice went away there for a second.
What? This is Mara Asher, and she waves. And this is Elwyn Fear, and the half elf is kind of like, "Hello there, nice to meet you." And he goes to shake her hand.
Yes.
And we all shake.
Yeah. Shake his hand.
So, I'm doing this in Elwyn's voice. It's gonna be hard to switch. They're very different voices.
Having different like the biggest thing is you gotta turn you gotta have no middle sliders with these types of voices when they're in a group.
Ham.
Yeah.
You gotta put one slider all the way up.
Yeah, you got the Gildred, you got the Iago voice going on, and then I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna say the character voice.
So, judging by how tired you look, I suppose none of you are from around here, eh?
No, we just got in today.
No, and the train was the tram trolley was delayed.
I prefer to think of it as some sort of tank.
So you'll have to forgive us for just having disembarked from a 26-hour journey.
Yes, the fatigue is quite something.
I'm. Oh well, you're gonna be traveling a lot for the next few days, so I'd get used to it.
Well, joy.
I'm gonna need that neck pillow back.
I'll make sure Roderick knows about it.
Fuck you.
So, well, it's good to meet all of you, and it's actually just. It's great to see you. Carrick wouldn't say this himself, but it's good to see It's good to see that there's interest from the outside and to get some help here.
Yes, of course. The interests of the world are the interests of the SRC.
Yes, indeed.
That's good to hear.
Folk as good as you who are doing good work to make sure the spirits find closure and that the communities are served definitely is an organization that the SRC wishes to have maintained good ties with.
Oh yes, absolutely. We were never meant to be adventurers, as it were. We're performers and musicians, so it's very difficult for us to kind of go beyond that career path, I guess.
Yes.
So it's good to see other people here to kind of do that work. So, well, I suggest you kind of get some drinks, talk to people, kind of be social. Part of the reason we want you guys here with us is that you become associated with us, and so it's like being the ugly friend with the attractive friend, and you bring them along so people talk to you more.
Which are we in this equation? Are we the ugly one or the attractive one?
That's up to you.
I see.
I'm gonna do an insight check on this fool.
You call me ugly?
I'm looking not so much whether or not they're telling the truth. I'm looking whether or not they are putting us in an intentionally disadvantaged position. That's kind of like more in the sense of like, are we bait more so than what they're letting on?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, because like it sounds like they're withholding that they're being targeted by something. That's kind of what I'm kind of the realm that I'm looking for.
They do sound exasperated.
Well, I rolled a 1. However, I am a chronomancer, so I control time. So I'm gonna invoke my skill ability where I can force a reroll. That's a 15, so I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna mark that off on my character sheet.
So they
Time shift.
time shenanigans.
You say something bad like "fuck," and then you realize that everyone around you hates it, and you're just like,
Yeah. I guess everyone gets a sense of deja vu when I do this.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I quick save and I reload.
Quick load.
Yeah.
save scum.
Yeah, I save scum it.
You do the thing in XCOM where you load your previous save, but you have to do everything in a different order because all the rolls are preset.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll a 15
Okay.
on that roll instead. And
After mods, is that
insight's wisdom, so it's just the straight 15.
Okay. They, generally speaking, they are very popular among regular people. But among some of the other organizations, they are seen as... They're more and more seen... Well, I guess you wouldn't get this from an inside check.
Yeah,
Other
You know, we're trying to find out if he's hiding something.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can figure that out later. I can
Yeah,
talk about
fair.
it, but I just want to know what's his deal. Like, what's his intent with those words he just said?
It's in his best interest for the SRC to look good, and over the past few weeks, the SRC has kind of not looked good.
Okay. Well, okay. In that case, I calm down.
He is legitimately trying to help us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. After realizing that, I legitimately calmed down because before I got a bit tense about him saying them words.
And you also kind of mentioned, though, if he felt that danger, it is generally dangerous, but you also get the idea that they are more on guard than the people around you.
Yeah. And they're just looking for extra muscle. I can appreciate that. And
Yeah.
as long as they're straightforward about it.
That's what you get from
Okay,
inside
cool.
check.
Didn't mean to derail the conversation. The words he said were
No,
suspicious.
sorry. I haven't DM'd in a long time, and I tend to be very
Yeah.
explainy.
So you just need us to mingle and safe. Make sure you guys don't drink too much, or do you want us to make sure that no one comes with a knife and stab you? We could do that too.
Well, we haven't really been attacked at a performance before. It's more for when we're on the road. If people come up to the cart, you'll be the ones interacting with them.
Ah, I see.
Or if we maybe have a few odds and ends that need to get done, and we'd appreciate your help with that too.
I see. So we're the sort of I think the term is roadies.
Yeah, if you want to think of yourself as that.
Oh, that sounds like a fun time. So
Yeah,
why don't I
Enjoy
grab
yourself. If you want, think of this as a vacation.
Why don't I buy? It starts off by buying everyone here at this table around, huh? And I get up to go get around while they continue talking.
It would seem that we're drinking.
What do you? Yeah, that sounds fun. Drinking. What are you? Are you like worried about specific people coming up to the cart or what?
Kara kind of speaks up at this point. We stand out to some extent. You'll see it when you see it.
What, is there a party bus? Please don't tell me there's a party bus.
No,
party bus?
but the cart is decorated in a specific way that sets us apart, and we obviously kind of dress a little differently. And you actually do note that they are dressed with like these black feathers.
Wait, like a whole mantle, or
No, not like a whole mantle, but like they're wearing kind of normal clothes, but it's accented by these black feathers.
Okay.
So we stand out in a crowd. The cart stands out apart from others. And people know we are generally better off than a lot of other people. So that tends to attract attention.
I see.
Oh, are there a lot of like bandits in the area that are targeting people well off or what?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I'm not sure if you're aware of the social inequalities that many of the areas outside of Cardinal and Mazkal. You're from Mazkal, correct? See, but Macherost is one of them.
Oh, street politics.
Yes, street politics.
Fascinating.
Albert, my character is pretty well off in terms of money. Can I just buy a keg?
Sure.
Can I buy a keg, have it tapped, and just bring the keg back to the table
Okay.
with like, and then a barmaids follow me with a bunch of empty tankards.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
a lot of the people in the bar are like following you with their
holding it above
eyes.
my head. The
Yeah.
small dude that's really ripped. Just,
And are we like inviting other people to the table?
I don't think for now. I don't think right now. No, but once we finish the conversation.
I mean, they
imagine.
did say specifically that they wanted
mingle?
to mingle. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we're part of the conversation, but
If we make it a public keg, then they
Yeah.
come to us.
But I mean, like people are seeing you and they see where you're going. And
yeah, they're tracking me.
Yeah, you're drawing attention to
So
yourself.
I come back to the table and I'm like, well, here we are. I assume all the extraneous details can be talked after we leave after all this. Yes.
Oh, We'll have plenty of time to talk on the road.
Unless there was, of course, something that we need to discuss now. And I give a look to the doctor.
Well,
I mean, I assume payment's already been taken care of. I'm talking to just these guys, and I'm not bringing those to the conversation.
yes, the SRC takes care of all of this. Make sure to also write that off. Tassus will happily reimburse you.
No, I'm fine with paying for this. This is among friends, and I don't want to have the SRC audit any of my stuff. What I once had them do that, it was a pain. So this is my personal.
Oh,
Consider it a gift for an evening.
Oh, we shall
right.
graciously accept then.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, drink, son. This keg and that one, and I point to the bartenders to that one. These 2 kegs are on me. This one's for the table, and anyone else can, I guess, take that one. How about? And I start pouring tankards. There you go. One for you, one for you, one for you. To the table. To an endeavor worth taking. Cheers.
The 3 bards all raise their glasses. Anyway, we will be leaving bright and early in the morning, so get a good night's rest and just be ready to travel.
I'm like halfway done with the tankard. You tell me now.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna need water after this.
If there isn't anything else, we should be packing.
Oh,
You just said that we wanted to mingle.
Well, like, you guys can mingle. He means like
they also said that they were going to stay with us.
Let's just assume there's like they hang out for like an hour, or you know what? They probably pack their shit and then they like come back.
Yeah, they're going to come back, but for now they do have to finish packing.
Okay, so now it's our chance to go talk to other people. Or
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
do we? Well, what kind of people do we see? Just all.
So like everyone here seems to be kind of. They're well off to be out at night and spending money on food and drink. But no one here strikes you out as being exorbitantly rich. People are kind of talking. There's just a general soft murmur of like a tavern with people in it. Kind of more so than there would be because there was just a performance. But people are kind of just like talking about themselves. But like in terms of like the conversations that are going on, a lot of people are like talking about work. Many people here are farmers, and and a lot of other people are like artisans or crafters. They kind of there's an industry around like the wood that comes from here. So a lot of people here either collect it as much as they can or like turn it into goods.
I'm trying to think of a word that combines forging and carpentry.
Yeah.
For this new profession you've invented. Yeah. But I wanted to... Is there a mingle check? I'm going to roll to mingle.
Yeah, you can
Isn't
make
there like a carousing thing?
You can do like a charisma roll.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it's a charisma associated, but I'm not proficient in anything charisma, so I'm just gonna roll a straight charisma check. If that's chill.
The artisanry, I imagine, would probably be called like wood forging.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I got a 14 for my charisma check, just to kind of get. And I imagine I get a plus for buying people shit for buying a.
Oh yeah, you can roll with advantage, Alan.
Woo!
Can I pretend that I'm like a groupie and just be like asking around, like, man, what'd you think of the band? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, I actually like that. Like you unassociating yourselves from us too.
Yeah, I'm just a really big fan, you know.
Blend into the crowd a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a nat 17. If we're gonna add charisma, it's a natural 20.
Sweet.
And then I rolled a 17. I rolled a 17 as well. And it's a +1, so an 18.
Okay. So Brandon, you're kind of
Frog.
Frog, yeah. So Frog, a lot of people like are pretty receptive to like talking about the music. Some people are clearly very emotional after it. So you probably don't, especially if you roll, you probably get the social cues not to behave like that.
Yeah, it's more of a somber event.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there are some people who are more upbeat about it. Like it's like, yeah, it was like good music. Presumably because they didn't think any of the music was about people they knew, and probably because they haven't really had anything happen in their life recently. But there is like definitely some people here who are kind of in that grieving state of like they interpreted the music as being about people that were close to them. So, and to some extent, like it's grieving, but it's also like it kind of brings people around them, and they're being comforted. So, and you kind of you see this kind of what this music is able to do. It's bringing the community like closer. And
I rolled a bit lower than these two, so I'm going to say that I didn't pick up overtly those social cues. But at the end of towards the end of whatever time period this is in, I guess I would propose because I didn't do war bad. I think I would propose some sort of toast to the memory of
that's good.
For those of the songs that were about
Like for those we've lost.
Yeah, I sort of like says everyone to those we've lost and to those that we still have, and I sort of drink to that.
What was your highest? Yo, you rolled a 20, right?
I rolled an 18.
Frog rolled a 20, right?
Yeah, 20, okay. 18, 14.
Yeah, and so, what's your character's name again, Don?
Valwynn.
Nalwyn, you kind of get the same.
Valwynn with a V.
Valwynn, sorry. You get a lot of the same stuff. As you're kind of carousing, you kind of the nature of the tone is like people kind of are talking about like. People are commiserating and kind of like talking about what they think those songs were about, and you pick up what seems to be like a rumor of people of there's a particular person who's talking with the people around him, and they're saying that they were expecting to hear about a particular person who has gone missing within the past 2 days. And he didn't come up. And the fact that he didn't come up gives the person hope that they're still out there somewhere.
Who all hears this? All of us?
I think Frog specifically.
Am I able to like ask about it and inquire, like, where did they go missing?
Yeah, this is a public conversation.
Okay, yeah. Where'd they go?
Oh, well, me and my brother, we live outside of the city. He went to town to do some trading and hasn't come back since. But it seems like he might be still out there, so I'm just not sure what to do right now. Like, I could go look for him, but I'm not very strong,
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, if you want to know, like, we live kind of to the south towards the mountains, and he kind of gives you directions to where he lives, and like, we live close to Macherost, so he would have been coming here. So maybe I'll do some looking on my way back. But I'm not the kind of person who's gonna go out willy nilly into the Everwill. Like, that's how people die.
I totally agree, and I guess Frog will like jot it down on a map. It's like I highly recommend that you don't go out looking on your own. I'll see what I can do.
Really? Who are you?
I know we aren't in the best of interests in Macherost, but we're I'm specifically here to improve our social relations. And she kind of like flashes her SRC badge. It's like, we are here to help, and I think I can help, hopefully, if we are able to if we find ourselves in the area and help investigate.
You can tell from his expression he doesn't know what he's looking at.
That's fair.
He's not seen it before.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm with an organization that is specifically from Cardinal here to help with anything we can really help with. And this seems like, your missing brother I'm really hopeful that we can find him.
He's just kind of like, oh, thanks a lot. I wasn't expecting to hear good news today.
Yeah.
Good job,
Good,
Frog.
good news doesn't always happen.
Good job, Frog.
You know what? It's moments like these that remind me Brandon is really bad at comforting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good at pretending I can comfort people.
Give him the old chin up, bucko.
Chin up, bucko.
But eventually, like, the bards come back from putting their stuff away, and you guys, like, kind of continue to mingle.
Yeah, probably not for too long, because
Yeah.
I imagine folks are probably starting dispersing now that the concert's over.
Yeah, I'd like share what I know with Valwynn and Mace. It's like, yeah, if we find ourselves near this area, let's keep our eyes out.
Our marching orders to indeed overtly say the SRC is here and we're trying to help, or if this is a goodwill mission, I suppose that should be what we're doing. I'm just wondering
Yes.
what our
Yeah, I think this is a
operating
pretty
procedure
goodwill
should be.
mission.
All right.
If it isn't, I've already blown our cover, but I feel like this isn't necessarily
I
a
did not
stealth
think
mission.
that there was any sort of covertness. I was just
Yeah.
wondering because I know you, Frog, for sure.
Mhm.
You often tend to lay low for most
Yeah,
for most missions.
but
so.
if the higher ups want us to make our presence known, I think it's best to take credit for any good that we do
Yes.
beforehand, so that people aren't left to
Um,
try and take the credit
well,
from us.
Just not used to working in these ways. Ordinarily, in certain places, they just say do and keep quiet. you know?
What are your guys' passive perceptions?
My passive perception is sitting at a whopping 10.
Wow. Oh, you know what? I know that Valwynn's is quite high.
Yeah,
So Valwynn, you would notice this.
that one's definitely higher. Than
While
all
you
of
guys
us.
are having this conversation and you have the map on the table, Mara kind of like taps on Aelwyn's shoulder, and you see she starts signing to him in some kind of sign language. And as you guys are finishing, Aelwyn kind of says, actually, Mara here is saying that we're going to be traveling along those roads anyway. So if you want to take a stop and go looking around for this missing person, that should work with us too. You guys can go look around for this missing person, and we'll have a chance to make camp, eat. We're going to need to.
Excellent. Yes. As you are very well aware, this is also to make our presence a little bit better known. So this is a perfect opportunity for everyone. It seems like. Do I know? Like, how much do I know about this language?
What's your intelligence?
11. But I went to college. I
You
have a high wisdom.
Yes. So I would say that, like, through your like educational background, you know that this is you're aware that this sign language is like kind of accepted as like a official sign language of actually the whole continent, because it's all kind of a unified country. I kind of can't remember the name right now.
Ishurla?
Ishurla, yes, Jesus. It's kind of like recognized as an Ishurlan sign language.
ISL.
Yeah. So specifically, it was developed after you arrived in Ishurla. The hospitals around Macherost deal with a lot of medical stuff, and because of that, people sometimes go mute or deaf because of medical diseases or medical issues.
Also, mining, like blasting.
Oh yeah, like plenty of
Oh.
reasons that people could go deaf or mute here. So the hospitals and institutions around here developed this sign language, and it kind of spread from Macherost to the rest of Ishurla. You know about the sign language. I don't think you know how to interpret it.
Probably not.
Well, your insight's kind of high, so you can kind of get context clues.
Yes, my insight is high. I realized that I didn't write down any languages for Sage.
Yeah.
It would not have been sign language.
Mhm.
She probably took one class in high school.
Yep.
It's kind
Oh,
of like how people take one class in Spanish and they're just like, yeah, it's good enough.
you remember it, and then the final happens, you pass, and then you delete all of it.
Apparently, a lot of high schools around here have been actually teaching offering and teaching sign language.
Yeah, same for my high school. After,
After
I
you
graduated.
graduated?
Yeah, they're
That's
like, yeah,
rough.
just learn Spanish. It's whatever.
Honestly, like, kind of doing the research for this, like, I kind of wish I learned sign language at some point, and actually
Yeah.
it seems like kind of a useful thing to know.
Yeah, my younger sister knows like ASL, or at least kind of, because she had a couple
Yeah.
classes in it.
We've gotten distracted though.
Sorry.
I actually found the whole thing really fascinating to
that's-
research.
That's what
Wisdom plus
8 plus
plus-
perception plus
No,
wisdom?
it's 10 plus. Wisdom plus. Keep going.
Oh.
10 plus perception.
Is your cheat the same as the one that on this thing? Did you change anything?
No.
Okay, then I got it.
Yeah, if it's 10, mine's
Mhm.
15.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so-
mine's like 13.
Well,
guess.
I also have proficiency in perception.
Oh, that's
All right, Don, real quick.
That's good.
HP. Your max HP. I'm putting together a sheet for Albert.
Oh.
20?
It's also all on the overlay.
Yeah, but I'm getting one for Albert because he keeps on asking these things. AC.
I'm trying to see.
That's 16.
My health is 20, my AC is 16.
Insight. Passive perception is 15.
Yes.
Insight.
I forgot where everything is.
So kind of Alwyn is just kind of
13.
like, I'll just go ahead. I'll go ahead and let Thank you. I'll let Carrick know that we'll make a stop over there. Yeah, that sounds good. Like, great job already. It's really good that you guys are here to do these kind of things, because normally we would sometimes go out to do it, but it's quite dangerous, obviously. That may be we're not going to be doing it, I think, in this leg of the journey. But later, so part of the ritual is to receive songs, hear stories from the deceased. So we tend to do that while we travel. So sometimes that involves us going out into the woods and kind of communing with them there. The ritual is fairly time-consuming. A lot of our attention is drawn to the ritual itself, so we'll be asking you guys to come there with us to just make sure nothing sneaks up on us while we're performing these rituals. We tend to do it a few times while we're traveling. Honestly, no real rhyme or reason when we do it. So we'll just kind of be in the mood to do it, I guess. Is that alright with you guys?
Is the ritual itself dangerous?
Oh, no, not at all. But,
But the Everwill is ever changing and ever imposing force in these parts, I suppose. The Everwill, I've heard many stories about all manner of creatures running amok in its vastness.
You say like big creatures?
The stories vary, though. Anything that's more concrete has already been documented, and I have a bestiary somewhere, but not actively. Though I'm pretty sure the doctor would know more about the native flora and fauna.
Yes, the flora is much more than the fauna as it stands at this moment. However, I would like to request that before we disembark that I am able to visit perhaps a local bookstore to do some research.
Yes, you said we're leaving early tomorrow, yes?
yes, they'll be open. Yeah,
Excellent.
I mean, early for us is like 10.
Oh, no worries. I will be up far before then.
Ah.
She takes a sip from her water. Distinctly not alcohol.
I think Woldmock's
Mhm.
very buzzed, almost very borderline on like piss drunk, just super like a bit out of it, and he's like, "Well, the party's gonna keep going. If you wish to stay, then we'll not keep you. But do you wish to be escorted back to your sleeping arrangements? If so,
No, we're staying here.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because I don't know. You didn't say that we need to protect you while you sleep. I just don't know if that's part of the deal.
I mean,
While we're on the road, absolutely.
while we're on the road, absolutely.
but in the city,
A lot of the village towns we'll be going to are quite small, so there's only going to be one in the town, so you'll be nearby.
okay. In that case, I guess I'm staying here tonight, huh? And you guys can go back to the other place.
Oh, you're just getting an in-room here. You're not going to go back to where our arrangements are?
Yeah,
You
because
just
I want to hang
ditch
out
your
with
other
these guys. I want to
dudes?
hang out with these
Alright.
guys. I don't mind. I don't even want. Yeah.
Oh,
in character, in character,
you
well,
purposely
well,
ditched
in
them.
characters, Woodmock's like, fuck Roderick. I don't even want the guy. He says, you know what? My parents. I said I don't want a butler. I told them that when I came to Cardinal. Yeah, at this point, he's ranting to Frog. This is-
Valwynn, he's drunk ranting.
Yeah.
Is this
I
normal?
didn't want. I told my family that
Yes.
I didn't
Oh,
need the
okay.
money, didn't want it, but still they said that a member of the Molt family cannot go without this.
Damn,
I wrote
that sounds
I
rough.
shame them.
Yeah.
Me shaming them.
Damn,
I
I
went
get
to-
it.
I went to university for them, and all of that, nothing, nothing but shame. And my brother goes around gallivanting, shutting down unions for his companies. Bad.
Damn, tell me more. Tell me more about your
and
family.
I just sort of devolved from there.
Oh, as like he's ranting, Valentine leans over. It's like, if you would ever like to know more, I've written an entire dissertation about his life.
Thank you. Is this but sometimes people reveal things that they shouldn't when they're drunk, and I feel like this is a grand opportunity.
Oh yeah,
Tell
actually,
me
I
more.
think we can
Oh.
kind of like cut away, and I would tell you more. But basically, Wildmock's a member of the Molt family, which is a huge family that has a lot of mines in the Hillcar Valley near Oudmesh, and that's where the accent comes from. If you pay attention, the accent is similar to a certain knoll that we encountered with a very thick Hillcarian accent. But Wildmock comes from that family, yeah, and he
Mara?
tells you a bunch of stuff.
Mara this whole time is in the corner just quietly listening. She has a drink, but it's in like a small
It's a very
like
conservative
a teacup. Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of thing. And she's just silently listening to you.
Sipping straight vodka.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily think we need to roleplay all of that, but
No.
yeah.
I would like to propose that we take a brief pause at this interlude so I can use the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call next, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is a good pause. You know, it's like the night. It's like we're sleeping. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
you're
unless there's
sleeping.
anything that like ambushes us or something. But
I do want to say this doesn't really pertain to her really. So I do want to say that my character wants to get. I don't know. I guess he wants to talk to the other guys real quick to get a read on whether or not they're chill with either me bunking. Are they all bunking up together? We all got separate rooms. Is there a way that I could double up on my job and like watch over their rooms while also having a room here?
oh, like
You know
can
what
I
I mean?
can I get a cot in your room? It's not a weird thing. It's
Yeah.
not creepy.
Yeah, like I don't know what the situation is, whether or not I can do
Aylwin
that.
is very chill. He's
Alright.
okay with it.
All right.
Kara kind of goes along.
Okay. I'm wondering if I do want to get a room to be sure. I just want to know if there's a situation where I could like, be next to the stairs so that way I can be mindful when some shit goes down.
I mean, you have to make those arrangements with the bartender,
oh
I
yeah, let's
think.
go. I'm gonna go do that. Hey, you. I need a room, and it needs to be the stairs next to that guy. Or no, I lost the accent. Next to that guy, I need room next to him. He said I point at him, and I shake my head, like nod, and almost egging him to nod his head as well. So what can you do for me? And I put like 5 gold on the table.
He's just like, yeah, that'll do just fine.
All right. All right, and then you good. Don't let me buy another keg. No, I don't need any anymore.
At some point, someone is gonna start having to sing a weird shanty.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just what do you do with a drunken logger?
I think Dawn had a good phrase for it. She called them
Wood foragers?
Yeah, wood foragers.
Wood forges, yeah.
Yeah.
What you do with a drunken wood forger doesn't quite.
Doesn't roll at the tongue.
Yeah, I mean, are we able to figure out why they like hoard the wood?
I mean, it's not really a renewable resource because these trees take so long to grow.
Yeah, but like as a carpenter, you want to like carve it up and then ship it out, right? You know, it's like, all right, I have the wood. You want a table? I'll make a table. Let's go.
I just think it's just demonstratively expensive. I don't think that they don't want them getting out of the region. It's just that
okay.
not many people can afford it.
It's very hard to make, so it's very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, like, depending on, like, I mean, I feel like Alan or Mace might have seen furniture made out of it before.
I think my family does have a few pieces, but they're like family heirlooms and
yeah.
Sorry, I'm out of water.
Oh,
and,
I
like,
see.
Another part of it is economy's kind of fucked right now.
Oh, okay. So they're holding on to things that aren't gold and like currency because currency is might as well be liquidated.
Yeah.
Yeah, like economy is like sort of in shambles, so exporting is not a thing that's on the top of their priority.
Lore. I don't know if you guys caught on all the other episodes, but oh boy, the Cardinal Buck is tanking right now.
That deep lore is invest in wood, silver, wood, iron.
You guys should see our stock board that we have for this world setting.
Oh god,
that would be, dude. You honestly, like, if you're doing like some kind of weird like economic like
oriented
kingmaker
campaign,
political thing,
having
that might be a
stock
cool
board
thing to have.
Yeah,
when bone is worth more than copper.
You know,
like,
I think I might try my hand at that when we do the setting that I'm working up on.
Like, like maybe like the players get up to some like insider trading bullshit.
Yeah,
like they start like specifically doing things to like bring up the stocks they have. That'd be a fun mini game in a campaign. Probably get out of hand real fucking fast. But
I played various stories where we've gotten out with a lot of loot and a lot of dramatic items. So
invest in bone figurines.
I mean, some people really enjoy the nitty gritty of like managing a business and building a castle. Like,
I feel like a lot of people, it's just like it's left to you find an NPC, he's got a business, you like him, you throw money at him, and you say, "I'd like to invest," and that's it. And then eventually you make money back.
That's how investment works. Yeah,
totally. I'm gonna use the restroom.
I'm actually gonna use the restroom too.
Okay, I can hang out.
No, it's okay. There's 2 restrooms.
I know, but that leaves just Alan and
No,
you can go first.
Yeah, I can do that. No, it's fine. You gotta get through this fast, as else it's gonna take forever. Parallel processing. Let's just leave Dawn on the camera by herself.
Hi, welcome to the Dawn Show. I'm an experienced streamer, so I'm going to do what I know best.
If you're actually cool with that, then I'm gonna go to the restroom too.
You can use the restroom. I can actually just hang out. I was just doing a bit where I was just gonna sit here and just eat and not say anything. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope this mic is tuned in okay to my voice, actually. There we go. I made a dessert and I'm very excited about it. Oh, I'm gonna shut this off, actually. Ta-da! This is bibinka. It is a Filipino butter mochi. Haley gave a great recipe for it. Hell yeah, you're doing great. You better be doing great. Got shit all over my fingers now. It's so weird going from the transition of like having everyone and riffing off them to very suddenly being like, oh, I need to perform on my own. Well, now Albert's back, so. Hi, nice to meet you guys. I'm Brandon. My birthday was great. Thank you for asking, DL Rico.
I'm Alan now.
This is very strong.
See, it's fine.
Yeah, so, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Brandon. This is my friend, my name is
Alan.
Dawn, and
I was
I'm playing
played by
Brandon.
Albert.
Yeah, Alan is played by Albert. Dawn is played by... Yorick.
Is that? I don't think
No, it's not. It's not gonna work. I was really excited.
it was a good try though.
Yeah, a valiant attempt.
Oh.
I'm excited. I mentioned this to you, but I haven't mentioned it to chat. I'm actually gonna start streaming my own personal channel again. The plan is to do Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure. I'm not sure. I want to do 3 days if I can, but I don't know what the third day is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm kind of sort of stuck in the same boat. I also want to stream on my own sometime soon too, but like I was kind of like, I'm just gonna stream on Saturdays as a once a week thing, because I'm not really taking the personal stream thing very seriously. It's kind of like a for fun thing to do stuff that doesn't normally happen on Blanket Term. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to stream, I might as well hit the requirements for affiliate, which means I have to stream 2 days a week. What the fuck is my second day gonna be?
Yeah. For my personal stream, I'm looking at probably different content, just because I can't really solo play board games or solo play D&D. That being said, one of my friends proposed an interesting idea that I'm actually seriously considering. If I can get people for it outside of my boys, because I'd want to do probably an online one. I might run a D&D campaign set in the world of Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I was thinking of streaming Final Fantasy XIV because I played that a lot. Probably some Animal Crossing, kind of just whatever I want to do. It would be a little different because it would just be me chilling out on camera rather than having all the boys, you know? So, and then Albert, you do a lot of fighting games, yeah?
Yeah, generally, like when we stream on our own, we do the kind of content that really doesn't fit with Blanket Term very well. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like fighting games or like competitive board games, like one-on-one kind of stuff that doesn't really fit with the rest of our Blanket Term content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stream sometimes, but I used to stream a long time ago, and I want to get back to it. The problem is that I don't know what time slot I want to get into.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff I do is ordinarily single-player story stuff that... It's a weird thing. Anything that you have to play while not watching something else is kind of that ballpark. So like Fallout 4 is something that I do. I've been going through Witcher, and I wouldn't mind streaming that.
Because like I know when you were streaming Fallout, it was like your way to force yourself to pay attention to Fallout, because you normally like watch stuff when you play video games, which you obviously can't do while you're streaming.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I've gotten to the point where I can listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, play an intense, like, Stellaris all at the same time.
Oof, I don't know if I could listen to multiple things at the same time.
I can, I just don't really remember it very well.
Yeah?
Depends on the game.
You don't really absorb any of the content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine for podcasts that are already goofy and you don't need to remember. Yeah.
I got a snack.
Yeah, so I love Stellaris too. I am unfortunately too broke to afford all the expansion packs, but I recently did a run where I sort of no-scoped the fuck... I like spawn killed the fucking N faction, and I was just like, alright, now I don't know what to do. Surprisingly, I was trying to go for a diplomatic victory. Almost impossible. It's impossible with base game.
You should, Spiffing Brit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Spiffing Brit does he's a content creator, and he does a lot of like game breaking stuff. So he's been doing a lot of like Civ 6 and how to do diplomatic victories, or rather a domination victory without fighting once, and also just like how to win Civ 6 without actually having a city.
Yeah, he did that one. But the reason that I specifically wanted to bring him up, yeah, Spiffco. I love Spiff.
Spiffco, Yorkshire tea.
And his Yorkshire tea. He also did a video relatively recently on Stellaris as well. And I think you'd find that interesting, Alan. It might have been a few months ago, actually. That's totally fair. Yeah, the Mad Lad of Exploits. He's a really cool dude. I would love to get to meet him. Like, obviously not in person because he doesn't do that, which is like weirdly foreign to me. He's one of the few people who's like, you never get to see who I am. You know, like he's like put that mask on. If you would.
Yeah, I have content creators that I enjoy to do that. One of my favorite is Cryotonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
some people do it, but I guess I'm so used to like the Rooster Teeth model.
yeah.
Where they show their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
that
a whole
it's just so
convention
weird.
for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're a big company.
Yeah.
Look at me and all ye perish.
Look at my works, ye mighty, and uwu, as a wise man once said, or he'd like to think he's wise.
I'm very smart.
Way to out yourself as the man.
So, are we good to go?
Yeah, so I think at this point, God, that Carrick voice is real hard.
Have you drank some water? Do
No,
you even
maybe
have
I
any water?
should. No, I don't.
You should.
I should get a water.
Yeah, I usually have like a beverage of some kind over there.
No.
I mean, it's usually a rock star, which isn't great for like vocal
Lubrication.
throat lubrication, but like
It is if you plan on doing someone who's drunk, though. Because the
Yeah.
extra slime in the throat really helps.
I don't like
yeah,
that.
but it has like longer reaching, I feel like, consequences. I mean, it's not like longer reaching, it's just like the next like couple hours you're like clearing your throat.
Rockstar, longer reaching consequences.
I mean, you know what? That's a pretty good like
It's
That's a pretty good
bad
s-
slogan.
it's a good slogan for like I mean, it's a bad slogan,
It's
obviously.
a good bad slogan.
It's a really accurate slogan for the like musician, like, you know, I'm a rock star, you know, longer reaching bad consequences, you know.
Just a prof-
that does help.
Oh, okay
just as
good.
a profession as a whole.
If you really need it, you should put like honey or something in that for the vocal
Little
cords.
throat pipes.
Yeah, who'd have
Vocal
thought that hydration would actually, be useful?
It's not like we
Yeah.
have a bot on Twitch to like remind us to do shit
Yeah.
like
I
that.
we don't have
We don't have hydration.
we don't have
bot.
hydration bot.
But
we
we
should.
did want to make Blanky-chan
A helicopter mom.
have a helicopter mom mechanic. If I recall correctly, I don't know if we've ever implemented it though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been meaning for the longest time to check if there's a way to check how BlankyBot receives the channel points messages to see if there's a way to interact with those to BlankyBot, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how it be.
That's how it be. Anyway, so you guys rest for the night. And Alan, I think you're staying at the tavern where
Yep.
they are staying.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Frog and Valwynn, you both just kind of go to the SRC set accommodations.
Yeah.
Okay, so they basically set you up in like
Motel 6.
yeah, like a cheap motel.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nearby.
Yeah. Seems fine.
So yeah, you all kind of wake up at various times. They said they're leaving early. I think Carrick would like them to leave as the sun rises, but Aelwyn, being the more easygoing sort, kind of pushes that back to 10. So you guys are going to leave about 10. So you have some time to go around the city while people are actually up.
Is Aelwyn the half elf?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Carrick is a dwarf, Mara is a human, and Aelwyn is a half-elf.
And Mara wears the
No,
mask. thing.
I ended up
okay,
getting rid
yeah.
of that idea.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I didn't have time to develop it.
Cool.
Mm.
All right.
I assume probably Frog and Valwyn are up first.
Whoa.
Yeah, we'd be pretty up. We'd be up pretty early.
Real quick flashback to the evening. Where's Master Molt?
He decided to
Oh.
Start the mission early and keep an eye on the
yes,
clients.
He is quite proactive that way.
Mhm.
Oh, well, yeah, I was with him since he was a boy. He's always been like that.
Mm.
Well, either way, as his companions, do you wish to, you have anything that you wish us to do? Well, we serve the Molt family, and currently Master Woldmock is serving the SRC, and as such, I feel it's right that I extend our services to you.
Thank you very much for the
Would you like-
generous offer. However, we need to rest in order to get up bright and early.
Yes, quite.
Mm.
But would you like breakfast of anything of the sort? Okay, no, it's fine.
No,
I
wait,
don't
that
need
was
to-
that was dead silence. I kind of want the
No,
breakfast.
for
Hold up.
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
All right. Oh, goody. Yes. Oh, would it be useful again?
Don't screw this for me, Valwynn. I've never gotten to be pampered. This is fucking sweet.
Yeah,
I
and then he
hoping to try the local cuisine.
Yeah,
but
this is like
Oh,
this is like this is in the hallway. Like he came out of his room to catch them as they're walking down the hallway to their room. And he's goody, and he closes the door.
Fuck yeah, I'm getting breakfast.
And then the next day, we flash forward to the next day. You guys wake up to a light knocking on your door. on I guess Frog for sure first.
we probably share a room.
Oh yeah, light knocking on your door.
They probably just gave us 2 rooms. One for
Mace.
one for Mace and his entourage, and one for the women.
Yeah.
Breakfast. He, like, opens the door.
Yeah, and you see he has a little cart. He has a little breakfast trolley. It's a whole deal, but
Frog's like, fuck yeah.
Well, so yeah, you guys have like now that it's the morning, especially like early morning, people are out. So
yeah, they're doing their
people
errands.
in the area you're in, it's more of a commercial area, like as touristy as it can get with the current situations. So like there's stalls and like shops and stuff like that, and people are kind of going around doing commerce. There's a few like people like set up at the side of the road with like a cart. They kind of like they see the outsiders and are like they kind of like try to get your attention. Like some people are selling like some of it is very small like crafts out of the ironwood, like but like kind of miniaturized. It's very clear that like these people don't get a lot of it and they make do with what they can get. And it's like little like small like figures, like some like dice, some practical things, like kind of on the upper end. Like these are quite expensive, but like there are some tools made out of this stuff.
like souvenirs for the most part, or is
Like some souvenirs, but some like actual practical tools.
okay,
Like a chisel made out of it, or like
or a hammer.
like a hammer, or like even like small daggers.
I think Woodmock's gonna sleep in, so I'll let you guys do what you do.
I wonder, do they make bows out of this too? Are they able to?
I
or
don't
is it too
think
hard?
it's flexible enough to make bows.
You can make bows out of metal.
Yeah, you can make bows out of metal.
That's fair.
Like they do make the recurved stuff. If there's a way to temper it, then there
The
might be a way
area
to...
you're in, they're not selling anything that big.
I was just curious. If
Yeah,
that was a
but
thing.
yeah, it would be a thing.
You know, it would be better suited for a crossbow
yeah,
because that way you can use whatever mechanism to load a crossbow.
and the crossbows usually have more force.
And they're also smaller.
yeah,
Like the wood necessary for that is much smaller
Mhm.
than a
But,
full
like,
bow.
probably like arrow tips are being sold. But most of the things out of this material that's being sold here are quite small because you're not at the super high part of town.
Yeah.
But like there's like other things like restaurants, bookstores, people selling souvenirs that aren't made out of this like fine metal stuff. And there's also a lot of herbaries. Like what's the correct word?
Herbalist shops?
Or like herbalist shops and like pharmacies.
Nurseries, maybe, to sell the
Apothecaries.
livestock.
Apothecaries is the correct word.
Yeah.
Because the other thing
I like
that
that.
that the Everwill is well known for is there is a very wide variety of useful and medicinal herbs and plants that are grown exclusively in this region.
And does that have to do with the soil or is it the farm things?
Both.
Okay.
When people first came to Macherost, they found that the soil is very well suited to growing these medicinal herbs, especially up in the mountains. So you guys have a few hours to kind of
Cool.
do other things if you want to do that
Yeah.
before. heading
So,
over.
Brandon, what do you want? What is Frog getting up to?
Probably like just kind of meandering about and just kind of like listening in on like the usual like what someone would go about on their like usual like daily errands and just kind of observing.
Mhm.
I know it's kind of like hard to like describe. But
No, it's
just,
okay.
like,
I was just wondering if you had anything specific. You're just wandering around. You're not gonna stick
No.
with Valwynn or anything.
probably stick with Valwynn because
Mhm.
Valwynn seems to have like a plan of what what she wants to do?
Oh yeah, before she went to sleep the prior night, she definitely pulled out a map and like plotted a route to all the places that she wanted to go.
In terms of like what the people are doing, some people are in the area like are going like to different apothecaries, like clearly looking for something in particular. And other people are here to get groceries. Like there's probably like a grocer. Most of the food served in this area actually seems to be vegetables. Like bread, obviously, and like vegetables. There doesn't seem to be a lot of meat. Probably because the mountains aren't very good for raising cattle, and neither is the forest.
That's fair. Cool. So then I guess Valwynn's just going to go on with her journey. So the places that she wants to go. Bookstore first. She wants to get information on whatever really she can. So specifically, she's always looking to pick up more books on flora, but she wanted to know about the local fauna a little bit better because that's one of the things that she doesn't know as much about. So just any sort of like species of of the Everwell book, things like that. As well as if there's anything that is on like current affairs or anything like that, she'd be looking for that as well. Additionally, she would be trying to see if she could find nurseries for like plants if they have any. If they don't, which I kind of suspect that they don't, they're not exactly selling these big trees or any of these herbs.
Oh,
At least
the trees definitely not. They don't really grow.
At least not in the city. I think
No.
there might be like a couple of farms that might have some cool shit.
Like
I highly doubt that they have farms doing it, but I'm sure she'd be able to find a way to get a clipping and try to propagate it.
yeah, the Everwill trees, like the ironwood trees, take a very long time to grow.
Actually, no, think about
She
it.
has a lot of
Since we're
time.
academics, would we? Because I imagine druids have already done research on this. Is there a nature roll that we could do about whether or not this has been attempted in the past?
Honestly, yeah, sure.
Just nature?
Yeah, nature makes most sense.
Nature. Ah, right.
Nature?
Oh, wow. Unnatural 20.
Okay. It's people have tried. And even with like assistance with magic, people estimate that like to get to the height that most trees are in the Everwill would take centuries, even with magical assistance.
She doesn't want to make one that large.
Okay.
She just wants one.
Yeah, she wants like a
Yeah.
bonsai tree.
So-
like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Every
In
little
terms,
bonsai tree.
you'll actually kind of get this like when you go to the actual nursery. If you ask for any kind of live plant, they ask for a license.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
But the bookstore first, like you kind of like read up about like the you can definitely find like a manual on different herbs found in the area that can be in like what their uses are. Roll me an insight check.
My passive's not enough.
What's your passive? It's like a 15, yeah?
My passive insight. You have the sheet.
Oh, I have the sheet. You're right. No.
Well, this isn't any better.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Thanks.
So yeah, you can find like manuals on herbs. And there's a lot of different varieties. Like, and it's kind of different from the kind of funguses that you're familiar with, and that well, first of all, they're like herbs, not fungus, and also that they are all like. There are all like all of these are like exclusively for medicine. You don't really see anything about like poisons and stuff, and like none of it seems dangerous unless you overdose, right?
I mean,
There's
she's not looking to poison anyone. She just wants information.
right, but I'm just like kind of telling you like kind of the
Mhm.
tone that these books have.
Cool.
And like definitely like very well detailed. Like you could like if you went to buy one of these, they would let you take it. But the moment you try to buy like an actual sample, the clerk is like, "Do you have a apothecary's license?"
in order to buy like live ones. They don't. Do they sell? So you know when you go to the grocery store, like here, you can get basil, you can get dried basil, but they'll sell you like live basil leaves. Do they have anything like that are cut that do not have roots?
They would. I think as long as it's not. Yeah, as long as there's like no like if it's not a full plant, then I think you're okay. Like yeah, like leaves you can buy.
Okay.
But the moment you try to buy like something that you could propagate, they ask you for a license.
What you're missing is, Albert, you can propagate plants with just leaves.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't
certain types of plants you can, yeah.
I didn't pick that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I'm asking is do they regulate the living plants, the roots, or do they regulate even the sale of just leaves?
They will regulate the leaves, but like the processed herbs, like to the point where they're dried or like ground and like you aren't really able to propagate anymore, you can buy those without a license. But the moment you buy something with like living cells, like a leaf, that's when they ask you for a license.
I don't like that. I wanted the plants.
I know, but they're very particular about the kind of plants that leave.
She's going to purchase very small samples of everything she can get her hands on.
Yeah?
Just like effectively like a spice kit.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Displace.
And you kind of do get like some interest from the clerk who's kind of like doing the pharmacy thing and giving you these samples. And he's kind of like, so not that like you're allowed to buy like all these different samples, but just what are you intending to use all this stuff for? Usually people come in here looking for, one or two things to help their sick family members. Usually people don't buy this much.
Oh, it's for academic research. I am a druid, so it takes any sort of plants are very much interest to me. It's simply just to get a closer understanding of what these things do, because I've read about them extensively, but to experience them and to hear them whisper, if you would, is a totally different experience, which I'm sure that you are very in tune with, being a purveyor of them as well.
Yes, of course. If you have any questions about anything in particular, just feel free to ask.
Well, I do find it fascinating that I'm not from here, if you couldn't tell. I do find it fascinating that the sale of living plants is so strictly regulated. Might I get some insight as to why?
Oh, so that's a very complicated question. Hold on, I'm double checking my notes.
Notes check.
Oh, it's not on here. Of course, it's
Nice.
Then we, in that case, we're gonna flash real quick over to Bozeman Malt, the very imposing. I was trying to think about what race he was. I think I'm gonna say he's a smaller Fearbolg, but he's just real quiet. You sort of see him walking through the streets, going up to that tavern. Walks into the bar, looks around, goes up the stairs, knocks on the door, and just bangs on Mace's door. Mace comes out and looks at him all groggy. It's like, "Oh, boys, what time is it?" Then the guy sort of just gestures and he puts his hand up in a sort of like, "Oh, it's 9." And he doesn't say it, and the guy doesn't talk. And he says, "Oh yes, please come in. Don't stand on the hall like a buffoon. Let me get rid of these. Did everyone leave yet, or is this?" Yeah, and it's sort of a whole thing. You good?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The Florenster family are kind of the preeminent doctors here, and they are also quite wealthy and powerful, and they are very particular about making sure that the plants in from the area aren't able to, well, don't escape Macherost, or they ever will, so to speak.
Interesting.
They're kind of they're very interested in making sure that, people from outside the Everwill grow perhaps defective samples. I mean, they're very particular about making sure that they're grown in the soil. They say that something about the soil and the environment gives them these properties, and that if you grew them outside of the Everwill, they would be dangerous.
Fascinating. I would like to know whether or not that's true.
Roll either an insight or a nature.
I'm gonna throw out there that she went to college for plants
Yeah, you
in
can.
Silmesia, which is also a plant.
Yeah, you
place.
can roll this with advantage.
Like this is my jam. Well, that's a 4. Okay, that one's a lot better. That's gonna be a total of 19.
You definitely get that that's bullshit, and this guy knows it's bullshit.
Not only that, but like I feel like Silmesia would have samples of some of other native faunas.
If they're
in their
like
nursery.
this, Silmesia definitely wouldn't.
No.
Like
Oh,
I know,
that's right.
I
I
know the
remember-
way that this works, which
yeah.
is why like she's never seen it in person.
Yeah,
Still.
Mhm.
I see. It is a familiar story now that I recall. I studied in Silmesia, in fact, and that was something that many of them were annoyed with.
Could you
He kind of like nods.
do
The more you're talking to him, the more nervous he's getting. He's starting to
Oh.
shake.
do you have an apothecary license?
Of course, otherwise I wouldn't be operating an apothecary, now would I?
May we see it?
He points to the wall, and there's
Oh.
a certificate.
mounted. It's
It's
like a
mounted.
liquor
Ah.
license.
Yeah.
Look, there's no reason to be nervous. We are here with other authority as well. We're simply asking questions. In fact, we're with the SRC, just doing research to understand our neighbors in Macherost that much better. I promise I don't mean to disturb you or anything. We're simply gathering information.
Okay. He hands you like a kit.
Thank you very much for your time, and I promise the little one is simply obnoxious. And she kind of like shoves
Yeah.
Frog out the door. Thank you, and like leaves.
Please come again.
Have a good day.
The bell rings as you close the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm. Yeah. So
It sounds like the soil is special.
Yes, indeed it is. And at this point, Valwynn has like stuck the stuff in her bag and is now like face deep in her notebook, writing extensive notes on the conversation.
Frog's like grabbing handfuls of the soil and shoving it into a pouch. Special soil.
No, don't,
Oh.
don't.
Okay, and just kind of dumps it back out. All right.
There'll be plenty of time for that later.
Now that Woldmock's is awake, I do want to go down to the tavern. Is any of the bandmates already up and about downstairs?
Karak is.
Okay.
Karak.
I guess I want to say hi to him. I kind of wanted to see if I get the bartender alone though for a little bit. I guess I'll go up to him first, right?
Yeah, I mean it's early, so
Yeah.
not a lot of people in here.
Yeah. I sort of go down to the bartender first. I slide him a note that I've written before, and on the note it says, "Can you give me any information?" With like 2 gold on next to it. Any information about would appreciate any information you have about any suspicious / untoward activity among the bards of crows. For them, I mean what's it called?
College of Crows.
The College of Crows, whether or not they be about the band members themselves and or people that wish them harm. Sort of like that's kind of in the note, just the bartender. And I'm like, and I'll take an order of breakfast sausage and some beer. Over to my man there, Karak.
Mhm.
Huh? I give him a wink.
Okay. So with your drink, the bartender gives you a note. Basically on it kind of says the people you're with are pretty like upstanding people. They're good people. Some members of the College of Crows are known to be exploitative at times. Obviously it's not in these exact words. I'm just giving you the information.
And I think the channel of this communication would be I place the order, and then my boys kind of goes over there, grabs the plate for me, pockets the note, and later on I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like kind of exploitative, kind of doing the thing you normally do at seances where you prey on people's grief and milk them for money. That has happened before. And in terms of people that have ill will against the college, sorry, I'm kind of jumping in two different notebooks. He does mention that the Menton family, spelled Mentants, the T is silent. The Menton family do have particular grievances with the organization, specifically because actually this will require you to make like a history roll. I'll let you roll with advantage because you're kind of a politically minded person and you might have heard about this.
All right. So history.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an 18.
Okay, so the Menton family are a crime family here in Macherost.
Yeah, I imagine the Molt family gets along with them just fine.
Yeah, so they are an organized crime family here in Macherost that do have a lot of official power as well. They are known as necromancers. Specifically, they're a lot of the kind of like the muscle of the organization is filled by like zombies, basically like these stitched together like undead of like some of it's like human parts, some of it's animal parts, and these undead basically fill out the lower ranks. So and they are they do the things that organized crime would do. They kind of traffic illegal drugs, and they also kind of extort people for money and like protection rackets and that kind of thing. And they have particular beef with the College of Crows, mostly because the college doesn't give in to that kind of thing. So,
also, they probably have some issues to be said about using the recently deceased's bodies.
Yeah,
for certain things.
That would also like on the College of Crows side. Yeah, using bodies as muscle is kind of super bad.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Tell me why you're sad. I'm sad because they're using my body. Another one stand in line, and it's just this big long DMV like.
Is there some scandal or beef where the College of Crows did like a sort of expose song about?
That's probably happened quite a few times.
Yeah, okay then, that's interesting. Do they repress? Like, does the Matan family actively repress that sort of shit?
Yes, they try to, though it's kind of like the whole undead being the lower ranks is kind of an open secret.
Yeah, you also got that. You also got that sort of guerrilla, that guerrilla concert vibe with the College of Crows coming and going. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I sit down with Kark. I don't know if there's any conversations to be had with him aside from just what's up.
What's up?
What's up?
He's a pretty. he's a pretty like. He's not a. He's a very taciturn person. Like he doesn't chat much.
I had breakfast with him, and me, boys, and Karak. So all have breakfast together.
Yeah. Eventually, Mara and Valwynn kind of come down as well, and they'll probably come down as you guys arrive.
Cool. Unless there's anything else you think in the city.
Not really. I think we did all we wanted to do.
Good.
Yeah, we made a shopkeeper really, really nervous, and that was kind of fun.
It wouldn't be a shopping trip if you didn't, Frog.
Yeah.
Real fast, I'm getting like hardcore. You know those old advertisements that are like trying to advocate against movie piracy? They're like, you wouldn't steal a car. I'm just being like, you wouldn't steal a plant.
And then Frog's like, how can I steal this plant?
Oh,
Yes.
that is precisely what's going on in Valwynn's mind. She is just far more covert about it than Frog is.
It's like, it's all about the chase, though.
So, it's almost 10. And you guys have had breakfast, I assume?
Yes, your butler was kind enough to provide breakfast for us.
Well,
It was
he's-
yummy.
At the very least, he's not going to be bitching and moaning about me not eating breakfast with him.
If you're not gonna eat it, I will.
No, you're more than welcome to it. Honestly, do you want to keep him? Do you want the multifamily name too? You can just take it. I don't want it.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that requires a little bit more pomp and circumstances, specifically a wedding.
I don't know if I'm allowed to have a last name.
I thought your name was Shrubtongue.
Well, that's like officially.
I don't pretend to know your circumstances, but either way, it's the whole ordeal with Rothig is very long and storied. But if I could get rid of him, I could. Unfortunately, certain things would happen if I got rid of him, and I don't want that to happen.
Yes, that would be page 7 for your reference, Frog.
7 for what?
What do you have there?
I don't know. I was told page 7.
Don't worry about it. You're still hungover, darling.
Anyways, Alduin, are we ready to go? If we're all good to go, I finished breakfast. My bag's packed.
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, let's get on the road.
All right, so you guys see their cart. It is a wagon pulled by a pair of mules, and it's kind of your normal like wooden wagon. It's not like that ironwood stuff because it is not. It's lighter than metal, but still quite heavy, so not great for carts. But
In theory, probably very good for cars.
It's like a covered wagon, covered in like cloth, and on the front, above like the front or
Arch.
opening arch, there's a word for it. Both on the front and the back, there's a single like crow's feather that kind of hangs.
Like some sort of totem.
Yeah, like a totem, and like it's crows, but like they don't dress in all black and that kind of thing. It's not like that kind of thing, but
They're not that edgy.
they're
Yeah,
not
They're not
that
the
edgy.
crow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're just
But like there's feathers that ornament various parts of the cart,
Mhm.
and you kind of see what they mean by it. Kind of stands out, and it's kind of actually you would have seen this since a little bit since you were there already and weren't there early, but went down before they arrived. Mace, while Carrick was like downstairs, there were some people that like would come up and talk to him, and he would do like, and there were like kind of some services that he would do. So there's some
Like little prayers or something.
like prayers, some rituals, and there's also some fortune telling. I'm not
Mm.
sure how much do you pay attention to it.
I am very academically minded, so
Okay.
despite the hangover, so yeah, for sure, I would pay attention a lot.
So at one point, he brings out this circular wooden tablet, and if you look at it, it's circular, and burned into it is a star map.
Ooh.
And it's a star map of like the night sky here in Macherost.
Okay.
So there's a circle in the center that's divided in half, and there's a sun that's in the center of that. That's kind of like on that divide, and there's a yes or a no on that sun. Around it is that star map, and there are various constellations.
So it's like a star Ouija board?
exactly.
Okay.
neat.
When he said yes or no, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And they use it like a Ouija board. There's a planchette that goes on the board, and like all the hands go on it, and it kind of goes
Oh.
around the board.
Is this thing like ornamental in that it's also made out of the ironwood?
I think the planchette is.
Oh, okay.
Not the board itself. It's kind of
Okay.
too big. And roll.
I got skills up the wazoo, my friend. I took a feat where skilled. I have a grand total of 10 skills that I'm proficient in.
Holy
I guess this
shit,
would be an
dude.
Arcana check to piece together what's going on here.
I can do it. Arcana, investigation.
Insight might. I mean, if you can figure out what's going on, insight.
Insight
might work.
also works.
That's not my best, but so I think I'd want to go for Arcana.
The Arcana is probably for the
Yeah,
best.
I think
Arcana.
I'd choose the Arcana. 15's okay. I think I'm not gonna waste just
Okay.
one of my rerolls on that.
So I think with a 15, you've heard of this. This is called a
Quiche board.
No,
Quiche
I have a name
board.
for it. This is
Charcuterie board.
Mm.
Charcuterie board.
Jeez.
these are called astertels.
Ooh.
And they are kind of like a mix between a Ouija board and a tarot deck. So you have the yes or no in the center, and so any yes or no questions are answered very definitively. But all the vague questions are answered with the constellations around on the star map. So each of the constellations represents
Like a vague idea.
they're symbols. They represent vague ideas. Some of them are they're real constellations that you could see if you went up and looked.
They're probably like representations of like the cards.
Yeah.
So since it's I didn't want to use the word arcana because that means a different thing in D&D.
Mhm.
So each of the constellations are called astercana. And
Yeah.
yeah, they
I mean,
all
star
have various
magic.
meanings.
I mean, like it is like a good name for it. It's what it would be called.
Yeah.
However, it is very unfortunate phrasing.
DMs have a tendency to name things fancier things just because they're like, this sounds cool, but like realistically, Astracana is what like we would call something like that probably.
If we had to make up a word between astrology and magic,
I mean,
it would be
like
Astarcana.
arcana is
Astromancy?
a different thing in because like you have magic, so arcana kind of has a meaning. So calling them
Yeah.
arcana doesn't really make sense.
No, what you said makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like,
Penis.
yes, no, what? What are you hearing in this word that I'm not hearing?
The ass. You not hearing the ass
Well,
part of
it's
all this?
AST. Asked.
Yeah.
Astracana.
Listen,
Yeah.
I play a character in Final Fantasy that's the astrologian. I've looked way past this.
Yeah, like you said, ass arcana, and I'm like, ooh, I want to get knowledge about that.
It's just
that
a star that
magical
draws
ass.
a big butt. I mean,
No, that's why I laughed. But let's continue. Let's get over my juvenile hangups.
Yeah, but so you do like see them use this, and like depending on like how much you're interested, you can learn more about different astracana.
I think I've
But
heard of it,
that's-
but at this point, I don't want to interrupt what he's doing. So I'll
Yeah.
observe for the most part, and I'll kind of take it all in, whether I need to reference it later. I'm interested in the symbols itself, and like the sort of this as a class of divination magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll look at it from that perspective, even though it's very, very overtly spiritual. So
Yes, and like I guess you would have like particular interest in this as a divination wizard.
I'm a chronomancy. Excuse you.
Okay, sure.
I'm a time wizard.
All right. But yeah, eventually they kind of arrive, and I guess they arrive. I can say you guys arrive during this seance, so you guys get to see it too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Valwynn sees it, kind of purses her lips and starts writing in her book more.
Frog sees it and it's just like, what are they playing like Parcheesi or something?
I sort of look kind of leaning. I've been watching for a bit. It is something that the College of Crows do. It looks like some sort of divination ritual of some sort. Although I'm not sensing any overt magic being cast. So perhaps it's spiritual.
So they can get lottery numbers or what?
I don't. If the spirits know the lottery numbers, maybe.
Oh.
Valwynn also probably would have picked up a book on the College of Crows while she was at the bookstore.
Yes.
We can cover that later on, but she would have picked up a book on it. Just
Yeah.
correct.
It appears that the locals here really look up to these to the College of Crows to help with the grieving process, I suppose. But surprisingly enough, I am surprised we haven't heard of such a benevolent organization until now, at least from my own personal experience.
Yeah. The book will have information on Diastertel.
Cool.
But yeah. Aside from that, I think that that's a cool tradition. Make way to the you wolf frog.
Yes. Interesting tradition.
So
to say the least.
I think we're good to go. Yes, to the cart. And I pass Frog the note so she can read it,
Mhm.
and I whisper, "This is what the information that I got from the bartender," and then same information about what you told me about, and then I assume pass it to Valwynn somewhere along the way to the cart.
Yeah.
What are you giggling at?
I don't know.
All right.
She kind of like slides it in your pocket and then pats the pocket to make sure you know it's in there.
And she kind of looks over and pats Frog's head and shuffles a foot away, like a step away or so. She'll find it in her pocket later.
And so, yeah, you guys kind of get in the cart and leave in the morning. It's already 9, so probably do more stuff next session.
Yeah.
Probably
We started
best.
a little late, but it's
We
okay.
did start a little late.
Yeah, I thought you meant like in game 9. I was like, I thought we were leaving at 10.
Yeah. The biggest thing is that we had to establish a whole new city. That's
Yeah.
always the
Yeah.
rough part.
A whole new city,
it always takes time.
a whole new
Yeah.
culture, a whole new organization of influence that
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
has evolved and
Yeah.
has a large outreach towards the community.
Yeah, it was like
Say it's a